Hello and welcome back to the Shed Geek Podcast. Here's a message from our 2025 studio sponsor. Let's be real. Running a shed business today isn't just about building great sheds. The industry is changing fast. We're all feeling the squeeze, competing for fewer buyers while expectations keep climbing. And yet, I hear from many of you that you are still juggling spreadsheets, clunky software, or disconnected systems. You're spending more time managing chaos than actually growing your business. That's why I want to talk to you about our studio sponsor, ShedPro. If you're not already using them, I really think you should check them out. ShedPro combines your 3D configurator, point of sale, RTO contracts, inventory, deliveries, and dealer tools all in one platform. They even integrate cleanly into our Shed Geek marketing solutions. From website lead to final delivery, you can quote, contract, collect payment, and schedule delivery in one clean workflow. No more double entries, no more back and forth chaos. Quoting is faster, orders are cleaner. And instead of chasing down paperwork, you're actually running your business. And if you mention Shed Geek, you'll get 25% off all setup fees. Check it out at shedpro.co/ShedGeek. Thank you, ShedPro, for being our studio sponsor, and honestly, for building something that helps the industry.
Welcome back to another episode of the Shed Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Cord Cook, and today I'm here with Miss Kelli Black and Miss Ana from Florida's Finest Sheds and Structures. Just as a quick reminder here at the front of the show, to get a hold of Shed Geek, call 618-309-3648 anytime. We are happy to take your calls and answer any questions that you might have. You can also reach out to info@shedgeek.com, info@shedgeek.com. Of course, check us out on Facebook at the Shed Geek Facebook page, and also be sure to join the Shed Sales Professionals page if you haven't already, as administered by Shed Geek. If you do have any of your acquaintances that are in the Plain community, we do offer the call-in line, 330-997-3055 for our friends in the Plain community. So please pass that along and make sure that everybody has a way to listen. So having said that, I would like to welcome onto the show from Florida's Finest Sheds and Structures of Eagle Lake, Florida, Miss Kelli Black and Ana. Maybe Kelli, if you want to introduce yourself, and Ana, and just give us a little bit about yourselves.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having us. This is our first podcast, so thank you so much. We're so excited. I'm a little nervous.
No need.
My name is Kelli, and we're from Eagle Lake, Florida, Florida's Finest Sheds and Structures. We are right in the central part of Florida between Tampa and Orlando, and we have been in the shed biz for 9 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we love the shed industry as a whole, and we love sales and we love people. And we're very diversified. So that's pretty much it. We're the Shed Girls, Florida's Finest.
Very good. Very good. So kind of, Kelli, I know that you own the business, or I think I'm right about that. You started it, founder.
No.
Ana? No, am I wrong about that?
No,
okay.
but yes, now.
Okay. Well, tell me how you came to own Florida's Finest Sheds there.
Okay, well, so we started our journey 9 years ago. We were previously another name, and we evolved a couple years ago into Florida's Finest. But this originated with my dad, Mr. Paul. But he is retired now as of January. Yep.
Very good.
And
Very good.
Yep. So we're it.
Very good. So, Ana, maybe tell me just a little bit about what is your role at Florida's Finest? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
It's okay.
So I've worked for Kelli for about 6 years now. I am a sales rep. I do some of our marketing. I make a lot of our flyers. I manage our website. I'm a sales girl through and through. I just love people. I love connecting with people, and I love fulfilling a need for people.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I actually, so I started out, sales was really kind of my first love. Even growing up, and um, we raised cattle, and we wound up getting into the shrimp business. But I'm cut from the same cloth. I just happened to get onto the marketing and lead side, which it sounds like you have, Anna, as well. Um,
Yeah.
I think that it's super fulfilling to not only be ultimately solving the solutions, but then kind of solving those business business solutions in the background of how do we get in front of our ideal customer, right? Where are they
Right.
at? How do we reach them? How do we wind up getting the contact info or getting them to come to us, right? And those are such interesting problems to solve. But maybe Kelly, just walk me through a little bit. So you've been in the industry for 9 years. Those 9 years have been very much an up and down,
Oh yeah.
from an industry perspective. So maybe kind of walk us through your first couple years. I know, the demarcation for everything now in American life is pre-COVID and post-COVID, but I think
Mhm.
that it really applies to sheds just because of the boom that happened. Maybe kind of walk us through what that journey has been like there in Central Florida, where I would presume that the sales season is basically 12 months long. You tell me.
100%. Yes, the shed season is very much 12 months long. So we have an insurance agency, and I'm going to tie this all in somehow. We have been in our location for 10 years. We have an insurance agency, which is our full-time everything.
Right,
And we had someone renting the back lot behind us who was selling sheds. And that venture didn't work out for them. So the manufacturer came to maybe pick those sheds up, and they popped in and met us, and the rest is history. So
right, right.
so we started off doing shed sales in that regard. And then I would just say things were great. It wasn't uncommon for us to do $1 million sales or close to two with just sheds alone.
And this
Right.
was before they had all these
Pre-COVID.
systems. Kel was
Pre-COVID.
writing everything by hand.
Right. So these are just Excel sheets, basic contracts, handwritten,
Yeah,
So we're really happy to have things electronic now. I think that's made things very smooth. But um, when COVID happened, we didn't see a decline in sales. It's weird. And the products were harder to get, logistically, just things took forever. We started selling carports prior to that. So if one thing wasn't going well, the other one was okay, so
right.
we had to find that balancing act. After COVID, I would say probably, what was it, like 22
Yeah.
ish? Things kind of were okay. I mean, we did well. Um, in 2023, towards the end, we had, to make transitions. And so we have our new manufacturer. We're
Oh,
very
okay.
thankful. Yeah. And so we had a lull for a little bit because of that, but I would just say that we're on the up and up now. Our manufacturer has released every bit of upgrades that we did prior, and so we're back to what we're good at.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
we're
think it's really important, and from the independent dealer perspective, which is, really so much of the industry, it's really important for people to find the product mixes that are, both valuable in their area, but also, that just logistically or style wise or number of offerings, whatever that might be, because it sounds like you have kind of figured out what that mix is for yourselves. And like you said, you've gone through a bit of a transition, but
Hmm.
how do you think through making those decisions or choosing those vendors, and then maybe talk a little bit about what that mix has become for Florida's finest,
Hmm.
and how you feel like that is serving your market and your area and your customers.
Okay. Um, so we are dealers for Nelson's buildings. We do our metal sheds. We do our pole barns through them, and they serve an amazing quality of shed. We are able to cater to, I would say, the HOA communities, which are huge in our area. We are just exploded. Everywhere you turn, you're going to see a new community popping up. Um, it's it's a big deal here now. So I would like to touch every household with a shed, and so that's our goal. And our metal sheds and our wood sheds, but we can make them very small, is what they're looking for.
Right.
Florida doesn't have a basement, much closets. We may have a garage, but they want to park. So we need to get them sheds in their backyard. And Florida is very much an outside state. They want to be outside barbecuing, grilling, hanging out. We got the big pavilions.
Yeah.
They want to be, you know, um, just doing all the outdoor things. So they need products. They're side by sides, four wheelers. We want all of them to have their storage space. And so we've been with Nelson's for a while, a couple years now. We're so thankful for them. They're an amazing family to work for. We also have Eternity Buildings, which is our wood shed vendor. We love Eternity Buildings, an amazing group of people. They have released the Platinum Series shed, which is the finished out model. Um, couldn't be more excited about that. And then, of course, we do our metal carports and sheds. So build on site, anything. So diversification is everything for us, and serve our community.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, I mean, Florida has, different dynamics than a lot of the country. I mean, Florida and Texas and Tennessee, by and large, are seeing the biggest both population growth and state by state GDP growth
Hmm.
because of the favorable tax situations and just general kind of people's preference to be in more conservative states. Realistically, is driving a lot of that, but you know, uh, I think that that's really good that your manufacturers, your vendors are able to provide that sort of custom, like you say, things that will match up with HOA regulations. Those are
Yes.
continuing to become uh, more and more popular in those growing markets, right? Because people want to be able to separate their community and make sure that it's walkable for their kids and all these different things, and that comes with regulations. And those who are able to match those HOA regs the quickest and the easiest are going to win these sales, right?
Hmm.
It's just that simple. But I guess my mind kind of goes to as you're thinking through that product mix and how to serve those customers. Anna, maybe this is a good question for you. Like, how do you find it, maybe not easiest, but most effective to get in front of your ideal customer whenever you do have that kind of diversified product mix? What are you coming at them, in a paid ads way? Are you guys SEO first and you're thinking about organic leads and you're solutions based and you just want to bring the lead in and then guide them to the solution? Like, maybe talk me through a little bit of uh, kind of what the approach is there, Anna, on just really marketing all the solutions that you all offer and how you get in front of your customer.
Thank you. So we are really big on organic leads. We want people to know us, to see us, and to see what we offer. Um, we're really big on paid ads in our area. Facebook does really great. We're really big on Facebook Marketplace. Um, we really want, so I personally do our website, and my goal is SEO. I try to optimize SEO as much because honestly, that's been a game changer for marketing in a whole. Um, so for me, it's optimizing SEO, our website. I make it super, super informative. I want my customers to look at the website and be able to find any question, the answer to any question that they have. So that is always my goal with that. I want them to be super informed. We want our customers to feel super informed and comfortable finding us. We want them to know that we are their local shed hub. We want them to know that we have the solution to their storage needs. And that's our goal when thinking about our ideal customers or thinking about the leads. We want the people that want convenience, but that know it is convenient to come shop with us.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So maybe then, I think that sort of that digital hub, as you called it, right? That digital hub kind of a strategy seems to really work well. I People then approach it different ways. I guess for you all, are you then trying to get people to come to the physical location? Is that like a main priority? Maybe describe what your actual location is like. Is it on the main road? Do you have to get people on the phone to get them there? Like, what does that kind of customer journey look like? And how do you feel you have the most success at taking those digital leads, through the website or Facebook, and actually converting those?
Yeah. So our location is amazing. We're right on Highway 17 in Eagle Lake. So we have dual direction traffic, like it splits. So you can see us from both sides. It's really easy to access. We don't have a huge slot, but we arrange our inventory in a way that just really stands out. We want to draw the customer in. If they're local, our goal is to get them here. We want to show them the quality of our products. We want to show them sizes. We want to be really informative. But we do a lot of virtual orders. So for us, it's like as soon as we get a lead, we're on the phone with that customer. Because when you're thinking about a shed now, you're probably not going to be thinking about it in 2 hours. So we're going to call you. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to walk you through the process. And we do have a huge market of like virtual orders of
50-50.
Yeah, truly. So for us, it's finding those leads and answering the questions when they're hot on their mind and serving their needs right then and there as quickly as we can. I'd say it is a true 50-50, but ideally I love to get people in person. I like to have a conversation, show them the product, walk them around, and face-to-face sales. That's just my favorite. I like meeting people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's what's most effective, right? I mean, really, when we start thinking about attribution and close rate and all those things, you can have a really great digital sales team, but it's rare that on-lot sales are not your best sales, right? It's just, people still want to experience the product. These are big physical items that are going to be in their life, and it's, to your point, Anna, or to your point, Kelly, I'm sorry. It's very similar, right, to that garage purchase, house purchase. And it sounded like, maybe that's a good thing to circle back to just a little bit, because Kelly, it sounds like you're at a bit of the confluence here as being in the insurance industry, and then also having the option of, finished out was the word that you used, the platinum edition buildings. Maybe just talk about the dynamics of what it really means at the moment, to be a home owning consumer in Florida, because I know that insurance wise, it has the costs have continued to go up. People are looking for alternatives, and in some ways, finished out or portable living might be an option. Like, what are you seeing in your two worlds, Kelly?
Digital Shed Builder is an online shed configurator that strives to provide incredible visual quality, fantastic customer service, and an amazingly low price point, making it a perfect fit for any shed dealer looking to increase their online sales. Digital Shed Builder is simple to use, taking less than 5 minutes to integrate on your site. The Get a Quote feature streamlines your sales process, showing you exactly what your potential customers need. They offer a highly customizable experience that accurately represents your brand and unique shed offerings, working with you directly to set up everything you need in a configurator. With no extra startup cost, no lengthy contracts or commitments, and no hidden fees, Digital Shed Builder has been created with quality, simplicity, and affordability in mind.
So it's a bit of a fine line. If someone wants to, make their portable building a tiny home, they need to go through the proper permitting channels and engineering. They need to have proper engineering. So there are options for that. And then we also just have our standard buildings that can be finished, which those are great for our home office type of clientele, or that someone
Right.
wants a she shed or a man cave. But we have a lot of folks that work from home and they need a quiet space they can go in and shut the door and answer the phone and think, and without interference from their day-to-day life in the household. So a lot of people use them for their home office, and I think that's really cool because there's a lot of people still working from home, and or like self-employed people. So I think that's really cool. As far as from, do we have business from both insurance wise? Yeah, I mean, some of our clients buy our sheds. We want them, all of them, to.
Right.
But we're in auto insurance, so it's a weird dynamic, but it really works well.
Yeah, yeah. Quasi complimentary, at least on the garage side, maybe. Right, garage and carport and all those
Sure.
things. Yeah, it's been interesting to me, the sort of market dynamics of the shed industry, and even to some degree the post frame and carport industry, the way that um, you know the sort of consumer indexes, or the consumer sentiment, has really kind of started to trend really deeply with the shed industry, right? It's become probably the third biggest purchase that most people have in their lives. You think a home, a car, and then probably a shed, right?
Okay.
Is about the order of like the consumer, hierarchy of what those kind of purchases are. Of course, that might be a post frame building or a big shop or a garage, but in any case, that outdoor structure starts to become really a big part of that consumerism. And so, anyway, the dynamics between um just the broader economy, consumer sentiment, and then obviously whatever those kind of regulations are, in each market, really start to drive some of those things locally. But it sounds like you all are on definitely the sort of best side of the market at the moment, which is that expanding suburb HOA type of a market. So what do you find your actual, out the door kind of sales segmentation to be? Would you say that, you know, 60% of what you sell are wood sheds, or is it 60% metal? Like, kind of what are you seeing in that growing market that you are a part of?
We see a lot of metal sheds, but I say that it really is really easily split. You'll see some months where one takes a little bit of an increase, the others take a dip. But honestly, truly, I'd say it's pretty evenly spread across the board
Mm-hmm.
And do you
for
think
our.
just the nature of, oh, here comes Shannon. Hey, our favorite call-in listener. Shannon,
Good
welcome.
morning.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you guys? Sorry, I'm joining a little bit late,
Okay.
but I'm excited to hop in here halfway through anyway, or towards the end, or whatever you're doing.
Yeah. No, you're about halfway. We waited for about eight or so at the beginning, so we're about, yeah, it's all good, no worries. But yeah, we were actually just talking, Shannon, and Anna, maybe if you kind of want to keep giving us a little bit of an idea, Do you feel like a lot of times it feels like the wood mix versus the metal mix sometimes just comes down to really local preference or even the local climate. I mean, am I wrong to think that a lot of people in Central Florida are probably leaning towards metal just because they believe that it's going to have, the longevity, in
Correct.
the more humid climate? And I guess does that lead then to, the way that you approach getting in front of those customers? Is it then, are you featuring more metal? Are you featuring more on-site builds? Like tell me how you sort of uh, navigate knowing that that's a dynamic that's happening where you're at.
So we try to be pretty evenly spread as far as like what we're pushing. We don't want to favor one more than the other because there's really a market for all the options. I would say that customers are really, I feel like they love to be informed when they come here. People have that idea, right? That the wooden shed isn't going to last as long. And we really just let them know these aren't the sheds that were built 40 years ago in grandpa's backyard. They're not. The products are so much different. They're way, excuse me. The products have definitely changed over the years and they are a lot more durable. They're going to last a lot longer. So for us, a lot of the time it comes down to preference or HOA requirements, what their HOA wants, whether it has to have metal siding or whether it has to have lap siding, if it has to be a specific color. And then a lot of the times too, it's budget or size. Because some of the wooden sheds can't go as small as we can do our metal sheds. So that sometimes is a factor as well.
Yeah, you were mentioning that really the small, the really small sheds seem to be popular there. What's the kind of use case that drives that? Is it just space? I mean, literally, it's small yards, and yeah, tell us about that a little bit because we're here from the Midwest, where it seems like everybody is always wanting the bigger shed, right? Give us a
Mhm.
16 by this or that, right? So maybe tell us a little bit about how that area of the market works.
So the HOAs a lot of the time will have the size requirements, but it's also about how closely the houses are built together and what we can get into their backyard. A lot of the time is really what restricts them. So 6 by 8, 6 by 10, these houses probably have 8 to 10 foot neck like between each other. So a lot of the times they can't even get an 8 foot wide back there. So that 6 foot wide has really served the HOA markets, like Kelly was saying, where we have all these new developments in our area. All the houses are close together. HOA needs them to be short sometimes too. They can't be over 10 foot tall. So we have smaller 6 by 8, 6 by 10s that have like a 6.5 foot wall. That really fits exactly what they need.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So do the manufacturers that you're working with, do they offer on-site builds as well? Or are you guys doing all prefab?
Primarily, we're prefab. We really hope in the near future that on-site will be king for us. We'll see. We're hoping for it.
It seems to be
We seem to
growing.
really be in sync. We seem to be in sync there, Corey, because that was one of the first questions that I got that popped up in my head whenever you talk about a 6 wide and bringing it into that space is just how much more can you do in the HOA world with on-site build as opposed to prefab. I can't talk this morning. Yeah, and you guys get to build. The beauty is you guys get to build and sell year round. I'm so jealous of what you guys do in Florida, is because the guys up in Canada, they say we kind of shut down for 3 or 4 months at least there. I mean, maybe not completely. Maybe they build inventory. But you guys can just keep selling, and with the population growth that Florida is seeing,
Hmm.
my goodness, I can't help but think that you guys are busy all the time.
We are busy.
Yeah,
We are very busy. And
we like it that way.
we do not want to take a break. We need to continue on that path. So we very much love Florida. We love the heat. It's cold today and it's gonna be colder tomorrow. And
We're not built for this.
no, I'm not built for this. So you'll see us outside with like 5 layers and it's 60 degrees, but it's cool. Just come on
Shaking,
by.
giving a
I
shed
was gonna
tour.
Come on
ask.
by and
I
we're
was
gonna
gonna.
give you a tour. Anyways, make
I,
you a
I
copy.
was gonna ask what cold is. What is cold
It's
to
60
you
today.
guys?
60 or below is we're like shivering. Got to break out the boots, wear jeans.
You can tell I've got the furry on today to stay warm. It was about 30 here this morning, I believe, Shannon, whenever I was getting going at least.
Yeah.
Burr.
Yeah.
Burr,
No.
yeah.
Yeah. And we're not even as far north as so many of our listeners. I was actually talking with Stephen Choi at Shed Pro this morning, and he said they got 6 or 8 inches of snow there
Oh my
in
goodness.
Canada already in Toronto. So kind of amazing how shed sells. Now, you guys might have covered this already, but I'm curious. Um, what are you guys doing outside of sheds? Like, are you selling other products, or did you cover that already?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did. So they're doing post frames and carports and 2 different shed manufacturers. Am I getting all this right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Kelly and Ana?
Gazebos, greenhouses.
Do you
Pole
guys do
barns.
Do you guys do? I've seen mobile decks are really becoming a popular thing where it's actually like a deck that's built on skids, custom built to whatever whether it be a double wide or whatever it might be, or even just a house, right? You're just putting that deck up against it. Have you all seen that down in Florida yet,
No.
or has that?
I haven't seen that in Florida. I've seen it. I've seen it in the shed pages. I think they're really cool. But no, we don't have a vendor local that does that or within Florida. And I'm not sure that we just haven't connected, but we don't have that option yet.
That just seems like a very Florida thing. And like, I don't know, for some reason, it would just seem like, it's like if you just put a deck up to whatever it is, and then if you pick up and go, then it can go with you if you want it to, right? Um, you know,
True.
but but uh, but yeah, so they do several different things. I told them, and Shannon knows this probably better than anyone. Like we really have a through line in some of the conversations that we've been having, because the independent dealers seem to be continuing to branch out and have more offerings, more diversification, and at least from what we have seen, um, they're the ones that are expanding and growing, not just on their individual uh, lots, but then actually opening more lots under their brand name and everything else. I guess maybe that's a good question as well. Like, are you all looking to expand at your current location? Are you looking to expand to new locations? Like, what do you see that sort of strategy being as you start to accumulate more products in one spot? Is it easier to stay there or to start, branching that out to different places?
I would love a second location one day. Right now, we have to stay here. We like our location. We wish it were bigger at times. Um, but our insurance agency's here and we're in it. So
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Well, and to be honest, that really is truly the answer that we've heard from a lot of very successful independent dealers is just like, we have control of where we're at. We can
Hmm.
add products where we're at. The logistics and the availability, depending on what companies you're working with, changes. If you try and go, 100 miles to the north or 100 miles to the south or whatever that might be, right? There may already be a vendor for the people that you prefer
Sure.
down there, and so in a lot of ways, that's what we've heard is it makes a lot of sense to continue to diversify at a single location, and then
Hmm.
just continue to expand the radius of the service area. But yeah, you guys are right on top of the sort of sentiment of the industry. Um, yeah, so Shannon, they're in auto insurance, and then obviously in sheds and carports and post frames and everything else. So there's a bit of overlap that we were already kind of talking about with autos and garages and just the broader kind of insurance industry down there. But I do think they probably have a unique perspective, on just what people are buying and why and everything like that.
I'll tell you what's interesting to me is like the just being multifaceted, probably more than anything. Kelly, was it your dad that was in insurance
Yeah.
maybe at one
Yes.
point, and then that's
Yes,
kind
he's
of what?
retired now. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I know we've talked a few times, and what I think's most interesting, and I've always shied away from this. We're going into March to be the start of year number 6 for the podcast, and I've always thought, oh no, I can't say these things or can't talk about those difficult things, and that's what people press us to talk about the most. But the I don't want to say the difficulty because I think it depends on your mindset, but it's either the lack of freedom or the ultimate freedom you have with being an independent contractor. The fact that you guys can bring on multiple vendors. If you choose to, you can open up multiple locations. You're kind of in control of your destiny. I sometimes wonder how that works into other services in the industry. If you're looking to do a 3D configurator, if you're looking to do a website, other things, even your own, your rent to own or your financing or all the services that are available in the industry. It always makes me wonder, what approach dealers take when they have that ultimate freedom of being their own boss. And then even beyond that, like what are the other things you get into? And that's what made me curious about the other products and the fact that you guys are doing insurance. You may be one of the only shed dealers I know that's doing that hustle on the side, right? Like you're making it work. And I think that ultimately that speaks a lot to the mind of an entrepreneur, and like where your goals are and what you hope to do. But yeah, we're coming down to Florida in January, and I think it'd be awesome, Court, if we could swing by and see their lot. I feel
We
like
would
it'd be,
love that. We would love
that'd
that.
be cool. Me and Court to Deanna's taking a road trip. We're going to come down and get like 5 or 6 interviews while we're down, and it's Florida in January. So like, who doesn't want to do that when you're from Illinois?
Absolutely.
So I think it'd be great. But what is your experience? What do you feel like? Maybe experience isn't the right word. What is your prediction for the future? Do you think that more shed dealers will do what you guys are doing, like working these other income streams? Do you think you can make it alone on sheds? Do you think it's important to just be a shed dealer, or to have kind of these multi ideas out here and streams of income? What do you guys think is the future?
Are you a dealer who sells multiple products at your shed lot? Are you tired of sifting through clunky or overcomplicated softwares to simply sell a product? If so, it's time to call Cal. Consumer Aligned Logistics is the affordable, simplified, and scalable solution for your shed, carport, or even RTO company. We are partnered with Idea Room and Shed Pro for configurators and have multiple RTO partners to choose from JMag to Heartland to Shed Geek Rentals and Scott's RTO. And if your partner isn't listed here, just ask. We are happy to add more. Give us a call at 425-359-3279 or visit calcanhelp.com. That's CALCANHELP.com.
That's a very good question. So insurance is where we originated. And so I branched out into Eagle Lake 10 years ago. And 9 years ago, we got into sheds. So insurance came first, and it's our baby. It's our big baby. And sheds are now equally as much of our love, So it's 2 full-time jobs all day long, and it starts at 7 in the morning and it stops when you go to sleep. So you enjoy it. And as far as being independent, I would never not be independent again. We were limited in the past, and now we're not. And I'm very thankful for the manufacturers that we work through, that are broad thinkers and can allow us to be those freedom seekers that we're looking for, and make the money. And it's not always about the money, but if you're limited, you know, and we don't want to be limited. So we're the hub.
Yeah, no,
We do it all, and we're
I,
very happy with it. And virtual, if you can't come in person, we're gonna take care of you virtually. So that's okay too.
Yeah.
And if I can add
uh,
to what you were asking, Kel, about like having the second source of the second income stream from an employee standpoint,
That's a good one.
sometimes it can be a lot of work, but there's so much security in knowing that I have those two sources and that I have that security here. Because there's lulls on shed sales sometimes, right? So just having that second income for me keeps me motivated and doesn't make me think, oh, well, I have to find this or I have to find that. And it lets me serve my customer better. Because when I don't have to think about that, or when I have that security, I'm not trying to force a sale ever. I don't ever want to have to do that or ever want to feel that way. So for me, it gives me that security to be able to truly serve them and fulfill their need versus thinking through the lens of needing to fill my need.
Absolutely.
gosh, we need to
That's
like
the power of
we need
people.
Yeah.
we need to record like that little like 30-second like bite that you just did and just blow it up on a campaign or something, because it's such. And I love, Kelly, that you use the term freedom seekers. I really thought that was powerful, in your spiel there, where you were like, to allow us to be the freedom seekers that we are. I think that's ultimately what we're trying to do as entrepreneurs. Like we're,
Mhm.
like you get attached to a product like sheds, and you think to yourself, am I crazy? Right? Like, because
Yeah.
people are like, you're always talking about sheds. Like, why are you always talking about sheds?
Try being
And
a
you just,
24-year-old girl and all you talk about is sheds.
It's so weird. It's so weird and so good at the same time.
yeah. Well, it's such a strange thing, but I think it's a testimony to kind of like, just pouring yourself into like the process, to just being
Mhm.
like, looking at your name, even, you're saying, hey, we're Florida's finest, shed. Come get a shed from us because we believe in our product and we believe
Mhm.
what we do. And I think that's important because we could all be selling tractors or motorcycles or books or something different. And the passion doesn't have to change from one product to the next. We can still come with the same entrepreneurial spirit and like go kill the day attitude kind of thing. And I'm curious what that looks like for Florida's finest. Whenever a customer comes in, like what's the process look like? Take me through what your position is for your customers. You guys came to the Shed Sales Summit
Yes.
this year, and it was exciting to see you guys there. Um, did you take any of that stuff home, or were you able to bring some of your own value to that? Like, I'm just curious, what's it look like if I buy a shed from Florida's finest? That's what I want to know.
Okay. So you come through our door, you're gonna be greeted with a smile. We're gonna walk outside. We're gonna look at every shed that you want to look at, and maybe some that I want you to see or Anna wants you to see. And we're gonna touch all the products and talk about them and why they're good, and then go from there. The customer will hang with us. We're gonna write the contract right then and there, and they're gonna have a shed in a couple weeks on their property or
Maybe
less.
a couple days.
Maybe a couple days, maybe next day or that afternoon if we can get delivery on track with that. We really do our best, getting those on lot sales out the door or delivered. I would say I was listening to Anna and a client talk the other day, and they were just telling her how they were so happy how easy it was to just work with her and to just buy a shed. And we're touching the ladies out there, not like they're comfortable. They're coming to another lady in the shed business and they want to buy sheds here. And that's not just our demographic, but they like to come here and think that we're treating them as they should, and come buy a shed and know that they're getting the best of Florida.
And to add to that too, I really feel like what we provide our customers is we listen to them. We really like take the time to hear their need. And people are like, well, you're selling them a shed. Like, how much is there to listen to? But there truly is so much. Like, I listen to the kind of colors they want, what they want to use it for. And we take that time to really pay attention to what they need and find them the best option. That's something we truly pride ourselves on. You mentioned our name. And when we rebranded a few years ago, me and Kel sat for a long while, like thinking, what do we pick? What do we do? And Florida's Finest is not only about the products that we offer, but I like to say it's the service that we offer. Because I want every customer to leave here feeling like they just made the best purchase of their life, even though it's just a shed.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want buyer's remorse. You want them to walk away feeling like they understood. And since we opened up that conversation, I'm kind of curious, for you ladies, it's sort of a male dominated industry. And I'm kind of curious because I tell my wife all the time, I'm like, gosh, I think if we were selling sheds, you would outsell me 10 to 1 because she's so detail oriented. She's able to focus on the conversation in the moment that people are asking about, and even pick up on cues, Anna, that I don't pick up on, like the color. I'm thinking about this in a very practical way. Like, hey, you need a shed, and I remember, Anna, a buddy of mine who was selling sheds with us, who was like, what is there to do? He's like, don't they sell themselves? And I have always laughed at that comment because I remember making that comment myself when I got into the industry. And it was like, no, absolutely not. I mean, there's a time where people just have a need, sure, but I don't think they sell themselves. I think the salesperson gets the credit for that by addressing the need. But I'm curious, you ladies' thoughts. What has your experience been in sort of a male dominated industry? And like, you guys ever get one of those cool opportunities to put a guy in check when he comes in and thinks he knows about sheds, and you just actually show him that he doesn't? Because we learn, we're hard-headed, so I'm curious about those experiences.
A time or 10.
Yeah.
So I think that when a man comes to buy a shed, they're like, oh, okay, and so we love that. And then we get to go talk all the specs of the shed and why they should do this or why they should pick this door, or the floor joist and why they need the heavy duty for their motorcycle. And they're like, oh, okay. And we earn their trust, and they don't think we're just girls on the lot.
And
we're the professionals.
I started working here when I was 18. So you can imagine the looks and the questions that I got. But like Kel said, for me, it's like I never get the funny comments, because as soon as we get out there and start talking, they're like, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I set it up.
Yeah.
And then to top it off, you're more detail oriented. I find if I'm just casting aspersions on male versus female in general, I find that my wife is like 10 times more detail oriented. So she picks up on the things you're talking about, the colors, right? Like, I just don't think about that stuff a lot of times. And she connects with a customer way quicker, on anything that she talks about, or talks, with any of our affiliates or anything. She just amazes me in the way that she finds victory in the details, I would say. And like, I just, I'm terrible at that. So I was curious your experience, since you guys kind of talked about that, and you've been in it for 9 years already.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh,
it's been a long time.
Yeah, time just seems to fly by, because you guys would have got in pre-COVID, and you got to experience the COVID boom also. We're going into 2026. Matter of fact, by the time this podcast comes out, it will either be close to it or already into the new year. Where's it going? Like, what's the next 9 years going to look like, for Florida's Finest? What's it going to look like for the shed industry?
Whew. That's loaded.
Big question.
Big question.
Big question.
Oh, I hope we're exploded. I hope great things for the shed industry. Um,
Manufacturing, is that in the future for Florida's finest,
mm,
or are you wanting to maintain like the dealer expertise? Like, what's your thoughts there?
I think for me personally, I think as a dealer, we do so well. I don't think I want to get into manufacturing, but if the opportunity was right, I never turn a situation down until I know it all the way through. So you never know. But we love the manufacturers that we work with, so we're very comfortable. They provide us a great variety of inventory and options, and I think if you're in the manufacturing side, you're going to be more limited again, and we don't want that. We want to move around. We want to do all the things. We're Florida wide, so
Well,
we can do all the diversifications.
I think that's probably something worth touching on is the fact that, the most um, the most successful dealers and the ones who do it with joy, like you all seem to do, right? The dealers that every manufacturer would want, right? That if they were putting out a wanted ad, right, they would be looking for, the two of you. They'd be looking for Florida's finest to be a dealer for them. I think it's important to just pause for a second and just talk about, whenever you were going through that transition, how important was it to you that the manufacturers that you were going to work with um, were, uh, as you said, encourage freedom, right? Encourage your own, did not limit you in what they thought was appropriate on your lot. I mean, surely that was a big part of what the criteria was for you as a top dealer to go and find a manufacturer to work with. Am I right?
Sure, sure. Having multiple options on the lot for shed companies can be challenging at times, but I feel that we have such a variety of people and what they need that we have made our manufacturers feel secure in the fact that we're going to sell their product, and um, they're not going, we're going to serve them, and that way they feel that we're doing them a justice.
And I think too, in that time, a lot of the thought process went back into the same lens that we always go back to, and how can we serve our customers the best? Because in giving us freedom, it wasn't just, oh yeah, we want to sell everything in the world. It's, I want my customer to come here and have a solution to any problem they have. And we want manufacturers that are going to take care of that problem the best way possible. The way that's worth the $10,000 shed outside for my customer, where they can justify that and it makes sense to them. So for us, it was, if we don't have the multiple product lines, the customer's going to go 30 minutes away and they're going to find it. So we're not going to undersell one or the other of our manufacturers, but I want to serve every customer that walks on this line. And that was the goal.
Yeah, we were losing
Kelli,
clients because we just didn't have the options, and now we do.
Kelli, you better hang on to Anna,
I
man.
know,
She's
you're not
spitting fire.
I know that.
Hey, she has already sold me in a short amount of time.
Good.
I can tell that she is driven, and
She's
that's
very
pretty
driven.
awesome.
I'm very
Yeah,
thankful for Anna.
yeah.
I've
It
been
seems
here
like
since
you.
I was a baby. I got out of high school, started working here for insurance. I wasn't supposed to sell sheds. And Kelly and Paul were like, yeah, no, you're going to
You
sell
need to
some
sell
sheds
sheds.
with us.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Have you ever noticed everybody's shed story kind of has something like that? There's always like, how do you find that many unique situations in which people fell into it? And again, kind of, what we said already, it's just like what a strange thing to be infatuated by, but it really starts to become the entrepreneurial spirit. I believe that now, 5 years into this more than ever, is that like it's sheds was the product, and we are excited about the product. You're helping with storage, you're helping with solving people's problems. But I think at the end of the day, it's more about who you are as an individual.
Sure.
in terms of like being a productive dealer. You can sit back and you can just wait for people to come in the door. And I'm not going to say there's anything wrong with that. Maybe you're retired and maybe it's a side income. But I think for so many of us, I know when I was selling sheds full time, even before I had the podcast going, it was just something I woke up every day looking forward to. I was searching for information everywhere I could get it.
Mm-hmm.
Audiobooks, podcasts, talking to other dealers. Like I would go out and like meet them just to like understand where they've been successful or finding successful people and asking them to meet with me so that I could understand like how to be successful for myself. And you find a mixture. You find that most people in the industry are very welcoming and especially the dealer network, willing
Sure.
to sit and chat with you. And then you get an occasional, get off my lawn kind of dealer or whatever. And it's like, well, that's fine. That's the person that I'll sell against. I'll go with those customers when
That's
bad
right.
customers come over so they can be grumpy. But yeah, I just think that it doesn't matter what the product is. What matters is your mindset going in. Do you guys do anything to prepare for your day? We have a meeting every morning. We have a 15-minute meeting every morning, and we have each day has its own identity, and we go through some particular process every morning. Um, which it starts with prayer, then it goes into the business of the day, and it goes into whatever the fun thing or exciting thing or knowledgeable thing is for that day. Do you guys do anything like that? Any routines over at Florida's Finest when you get in the morning?
Are you swimming in leads but struggling to close the deal? It's time to turn those leads into profits with Making Sales Simple, the ultimate sales training program designed specifically for shed sales professionals. At Making Sales Simple, we understand the challenges you face, overwhelmed by inquiries, unsure how to follow up, and missing opportunities that can boost your bottom line. Our proven techniques help you and your team master the art of connecting with customers, building trust, and closing deals like never before. Whether you're new to the industry or a seasoned pro, this training will sharpen your skills, increase your conversions, and drive your business to new heights. Don't let those leads go cold. Invest in your team's success today. Making sales simple, because every lead deserves a closer.
A cup of coffee.
Lots of coffee. We're
We're arm's length away. Me and Kel can see each other. So we get here, cup of coffee, talk about what the day entails, what the goals are, and we're in it. We're ready. Diving straight in.
we're usually coming through the door 10 or 15 minutes. I'm a mom, a wife, a very busy person outside of my career. So I have to turn one brain off, or maybe not, just kind of tune it down a little bit and jump right into my next situation, and then leave and go do that again. And I love it all. Challenging. We're just getting
No,
get
that's
through the day.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. I understand what that means probably more than you know, and trying to circumvent one thing from the next, even serving all these different parallels you guys do with your products. You've got to be able to quickly move from a shed conversation to a carport conversation,
Ooh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even that's a talent all on its own that doesn't just happen overnight. You begin to, are you guys like me? I'm probably going to tell a little too much here, but do you really find yourself, since being in sales, digging into paying attention to people more, like even
100%.
in non-sales situations where you're just like at the restaurant and you're like all in someone's conversation because they're over there chatting and you're just like, I'm trying to pick something out from
Yeah.
them because there's a moment, there's a tale, or there's something in them that's going to give me like an end on the conversation. Like, is that just me, or is that everybody now?
I love people. I like to chat it up. So, and Anna has the gift of gab as well. So I think that just comes from within, and I do. I like to tune in. And also being in the insurance industry, we have clients that have been with our agency since the beginning with my dad 25 years ago. And so I came in 15 years ago, and now I'm seeing the drivers that were babies. Now they're getting their permits and they're driving, and or they were little and now they're off to college or they started their own families. So um, I love my clients and just getting to connect with them and talk about life, or they'll come in and they're not well, or they are well, or they've had some great success, or we just talk. And I love people.
And we are in a small town.
Small town.
Okay.
So when you come, we have to hit up the best barbecue spot in Polk County.
Yes.
Yeah.
Barbecue is, no, absolutely. That goes straight to my heart whenever if we can go get barbecue. Like, one thing I love about shed people is typically they know where the closest good barbecue is and the closest good Mexican corn.
Oh my God.
We always seem to find the best.
Language.
1 mile each way, buddy. Just take your pick. Like, that's our diet.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I'm curious about one more thing, Gordon, and I'll let you jump back in on wrapping up or whatever you got planned here. But you mentioned something earlier, so I got two questions. You mentioned sometimes we can even get them to shed, within the same week or maybe next day. Is that because you guys do your own hauling, or is that just the relationship you've worked out with the manufacturer?
Yes.
And then the second question is, since you offer insurance, do you guys actually do any insurance for shed haulers, or would you be able to?
We can do commercial auto. We can do general liability. With the insurance, it would be Florida based. That would be the extent of that. But it's circling back to the relationships with our delivery teams. Yes, our manufacturers, they have quick deliveries because we're all local, or within a few hours of each other. And Shed Movers of Florida has been chef's kiss. They're great. So they're always
Nice.
willing to help, and even the teams within the delivery companies that we use through our manufacturers as well. But having a third party delivery company, we don't haul our own sheds. No. No.
Yeah, I got you. But you've got that relationship worked out that allows that, and I'm envious of that, because that's one thing I always wish that I could have done was like, I feel like sometimes if you can follow them home with the shed, you can really come close
my
to getting that
goodness.
sale. I mean, you can increase your numbers significantly. So it just makes me wonder, either relationship wise, or how many shed dealers opt to become a shed hauler themselves, or at least have some solution for somebody within 24 or 48 hours, because they're going to feel a whole lot better than here in 10 to 14 business days.
I can't
That's
tell you
just
how many
reality.
times a client has come and they're like, I have relatives coming and I have to empty out this room.
I need to get out of this.
I got to get out of the storage unit. My bill's due in 5 days. I need a shed and I got to empty it and get all my things over there. And so we're on the phone before we make the sale. Hey, when can you deliver this shed? Tomorrow, great. Oh, come on, let's go. We got to get this in so you can have your shed tomorrow. So yeah, we love that.
And it just circles back to the same goal of like having partners that can fulfill those customers' needs, because people sometimes need it tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost a lot of sales. I couldn't get a shed to the next day. And maybe if that's the expectation for some people, they're like, hey, we're just not going to miss, or we're not going to hit that mark. But man, I felt like it would just help drive sales for the on-lot stuff.
Sure.
Obviously, for the on-lot stuff, it seems like it would move inventory way quicker. So maybe that's a message the manufacturers should be listening to whenever they talk about asking their dealers to move the inventory 3 to 4 times a year. Help me move that inventory, because if you can get a shed guy, a shed driver, or a shed lady out here a shed mover, regardless of who they are. Like, we can get this thing sold and get it moved tomorrow. So yeah, Cord, go ahead. I jumped in here after you got started. So whatever you wanted to
No,
take, go for it.
no, I'm thankful for you because I was, gosh, I've been under the weather and I started coughing, and I'm glad that I'm glad that you were here because I would have made a big mess of the recording here. So, no, I just think that they're so representative, of the independent dealer, what's going on out there in the country right now, and not just representative with the market structure and the way that they're around growing markets and are able to deliver into HOAs, but also they're the diversification of the products that they're offering, and also just Kelly and Anna themselves, right? I mean, I think that the industry, just as with all sales, to your point, Shannon, like as industries mature, as sales teams mature, honestly, they start to even out gender wise, right? Like, you ladies are really good at sales, and they're much more organized than most men, right? And so it's just it's cool to me, to be able to get to know you all, and get to understand what's going on down there in Eagle Lake, and Florida's finest, and everything that you have going on. And from my point of view, it's just really good to get to chat with you all. And I think we should add them to the road trip, Shannon. I mean, my goodness, how can we
Yeah,
not go
absolutely.
see Anna and
You
Kelly?
should.
I
Absolutely.
mean,
Now you
Well,
have
they've
to.
got,
There's barbecue on the calendar.
I was about to
that's
say, they've got
right.
barbecue on the mind
That's
already.
right.
So
That's
like,
right.
and Florida in January just doesn't sound bad. So there's a win. Get to meet friends, get to eat barbecue, get to talk sheds in warm weather. It's a win-win for me every way,
Absolutely.
every direction. I'm curious. I want to ask you guys a question. I used to do this, and I've shied away from doing this for the last few months or maybe half a year or whatever. What questions do you guys have for me and Cord? Any at all? If you don't have any, that's okay, because we didn't prepare you for this question or anything like that. But whether it's podcast related, shed related, or anything, I really enjoyed that. I used to open up the floor for that. But do you have any questions that we can answer for you today? Because we're used to asking you guys all the questions.
Oh, I didn't come prepared for this one.
If you don't, that's okay.
I would love for you to invite us back in a year and see what's different. And
Okay.
that'd be cool. As far as questions for you all,
Or maybe it's resources, Kelly, right? Like,
yeah.
maybe it's, I mean, one of the big things that we try to do, is obviously we can answer any questions extemporaneously, but Shannon's network is so much of the value with Shed Geek, right? So, if you
Absolutely.
have questions or need resources or whatever it might be, obviously we want to be here to help. So maybe maybe that helps you think in a different direction or whatever else. But yeah, I think that's what we're here for.
Thank you. We'll definitely
And we
use
will
it.
do that. We'll definitely come back in a year from now, and just kind of do a follow up. And who knows, maybe we have you on, once a year to just kind of, hey, look, I see you guys as shed sales professionals, and I think that you can set yourself apart from the fray if you carry yourself that way.
Absolutely.
And that means in all areas, right? Both publicly and privately. And we're working to refine our own processes. We're working to be better in everything that we do in podcasting. We're actually talking about, maybe this is premature, but we're talking about creating a media group that hosts several podcasts,
Love
and
that.
wanting to try and just be a professional in all of those things that we're passionate about. So who knows? Maybe Florida's Finest has maybe one of these days you guys have an insurance podcast or something. I don't know.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we could learn a lot by listening to you ladies. And yeah, it's just really appreciate you guys willing to being willing to come on. Appreciate that you guys came to the Shed Sale Summit. I'm not an owner there. You know, I don't have anything to do with it other than I love the idea. I love that shed salespeople are coming together to try to better themselves, and being present, you know, actually says something. You know, if you don't have more to learn, then that means that you have something to teach. So reach out and, like, you know, teach us, you know, like, there's got to be something that, you know, that we can benefit from. So to me, it's a win, whether you feel like I'm established and I don't need to go to learn anything, then perhaps we need you there to teach or to do a breakout session or something. So thank you ladies for attending that. It was good to see you there. And you guys went to the after party. What was it? The VIP.
Yeah, that was a good time. The private session, is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah,
that was nice. To get into sit with, I would say, the people that are just so in tune with the shed industry. I would say they
lit a fire under us.
I left feeling so good and so confident. I was lost for words a little bit. I'm just thankful for being able to go and listen and take it in.
Yeah. We all offered a lot of value, and it was awesome to see you there. And I loved your questions and your input. And you're right, you know, Anna, it lights a fire under you. It just kind of like, what am I going to do when I wake up today? Am I going to go be the best shed seller I can be, or am I just going to come today with mediocrity? And you know what? You get to choose. That's the beauty.
That's
It
it.
doesn't have anything to do with your manager. It doesn't have to do anything to do with your, you know, product supplier. It doesn't have anything to do with the market, right? It has to do with you and you only, and what you set your day out to be. Like, this is going to be a great day, and we're going to go in and sell the shed. I always said, you know, hey, if you have a hard time selling sheds or getting customers to the lot, if nothing else, just go to lunch. Go to your favorite barbecue joint. No, you'll have 2 or 3 people show up. That's usually the way it works.
It never fails. It never fails. So yeah, don't leave for a meeting. The phones aren't gonna stop ringing.
Well, it's very awesome getting to know you ladies. And yeah, let's put it on the calendar. We'll reach out, and we'll make sure to swing by when me, Cord, and Deanna hit the road.
Yes.
You know, and we'll enjoy some barbecue and check out the lot, and enjoy the weather and conversation, I'm sure.
Yes.
Most of
Bring
all,
a jacket. Bring a jacket in January. It's just a tiny chilly. Like, it's it's cold. It's cold.
Well,
not gonna lie.
I stay cold all the time, but Cord will be in a t-shirt, I can promise you.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. No, I'm hot natured for sure. So yeah, I'll be enjoying it. T-shirt and flip flops.
Yeah.
You
My
know,
favorite.
Florida in January.
They say the Florida cold is different, though.
I'm sure. Anything that any shout outs that you ladies want to give? Just anything before, you know, before we get off of here. We're happy to accommodate that.
Thank you to Shed Geek. Thank you to the podcast. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, it's a joy that you guys listen, that we have anything valuable worth saying. But I believe that interviews like you guys are why people tune in, and that means a lot to us. So I can't say enough good, you know, about having you guys on, and really, really appreciate it, Cord. I'm sorry that I joined late, but I really feel like it was a great episode.
Yeah, very much so. Good conversation, and very representative of just where the industry is and where it's going. So yeah, I look forward to being down there in person, seeing the lot, and continuing, you know, to get to know you all, and get to know Florida's finest.
Thank you. We're excited.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing you all. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time on the Shed Geek podcast.
Bye. Thank you guys for having us.
Happy New Year from all of us. at Shed Geek.
Thanks again, Shed Pro, for being the Shed Geeks studio sponsor for 2025. If you need any more information about Shed Pro or about Shed Geek, just reach out. You can reach us by email at info@shedgeek.com or just go to our website, www.shedgeek.com, and submit a form with your information, and we'll be in contact right away. Thank you again for listening, as always, to today's episode of the Shed Geek Podcast. Thank you and have a blessed day.